I was the brother everyone trusted with money. My family looked up to me because I ran my own business and seemed successful. They didn't know I was about to destroy everything they'd worked their whole lives to save. My older brother had been a mechanic for 25 years, saving every penny. He came to me with tears in his eyes, thanking me for letting him invest. I smiled while my stomach turned with guilt I couldn't name yet. My parents emptied their retirement account because they believed in me. My father said he was proud of the man I'd become. Those words would haunt me every single night for years afterward. My wife's relatives heard about the opportunity and wanted in too. Cousins, uncles, aunts, they all trusted me because our family raised me to be honest. The pressure was becoming impossible to carry. I told my wife this investment would secure our children's future. She believed me because she'd never seen me fail at anything. That belief would become the heaviest chain around my neck. I watched the investment grow for a few months. Everyone was so happy, calling me a genius. I started believing my own lies, ignoring the warning signs I should have seen coming. Then the first payment was late. Then the second never came. My stomach dropped as I started calling the investment company. The phone number had been disconnected. My world began collapsing. I drove to their office address. It was empty. Just a locked door and a for lease sign where hundreds of thousands of family dollars had disappeared. I sat in my car and couldn't move for an hour. I had to tell my older brother first. He'd worked so hard, his hands calloused from decades fixing cars. When I told him the money was gone, he didn't yell. He just walked away without a word. My parents cried together in their living room. My mother kept saying, "We trusted you," over and over. My father just stared at the wall, his retirement dreams destroyed by his own son. My wife's relatives called demanding answers I didn't have. One cousin threatened to sue us. Another stopped speaking to our entire family. The shame spread like fire through everything we'd built. My wife stopped looking at me the same way. She didn't yell or blame me. Her quiet disappointment was worse than any anger. I'd failed our family and everyone who loved us. I couldn't sleep for weeks. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw my parents crying and my brother's back walking away. The guilt was eating me alive from the inside out. Our family gatherings became unbearable silences. Holidays that once felt warm now felt like walking through a minefield. I stopped attending because I couldn't face the people I'd hurt. I met Samuel at a financial recovery support group I was too ashamed to attend at first. He listened to my story without judgment and said something I'll never forget. "You're not a bad person who made a good decision. You're a good person who made a terrible decision." Samuel had lost everything in a fraud scandal years ago too. He understood the guilt, the shame, the ruined relationships. For the first time, someone didn't make me feel like a monster. He taught me that rebuilding starts with honesty, not just with my family, but with myself. I had to admit I'd been gambling, not investing. That truth hurt more than losing the money. I created a repayment plan for every family member. It would take years, maybe a decade, but I would pay back every penny. My brother was the first person I called with the plan. My brother listened to my repayment plan in silence. When I finished, he said, "I'll believe it when I see it." Those words motivated me more than any encouragement ever could. I sold my car and started taking the bus everywhere. Every dollar I saved went into the repayment fund. My wife started working extra shifts to help. We were in this together now. The first repayment to my parents was only $500. But when I handed them that check, my mother cried. Not from sadness this time, but from hope that maybe we'd be okay eventually. Samuel taught me real investing, slow, boring, and safe. No more get-rich-quick schemes. Just steady growth that actually builds wealth over time. I started small with $50 a week. My business actually grew when I stopped chasing easy money. Focusing on serving customers brought steady income one could count on. The irony wasn't lost on me. Real success was boring all along. Every month, I sent repayment checks to different family members. Small amounts at first, but they added up. My brother started answering my calls again. It was a tiny victory, but I celebrated it. 2 years into repayments, my brother invited me to his son's birthday party. That invitation meant more than any business achievement. He was letting me back into his life, slowly. My parents started inviting us for Sunday dinners again. The first dinner was awkward and quiet, but by the fourth one, we were laughing like before. Healing was possible, just painfully slow. My wife and I started marriage counseling. We needed help rebuilding trust between us two. The counselor said financial betrayal hurts like infidelity. We had to heal our relationship alongside our finances. 3 years into repayments, I had paid back 30% of what I owed. It wasn't fast enough for me, but Samuel reminded me that rebuilding takes time. Real change doesn't happen overnight. I started a financial literacy workshop at our community center. Teaching others about the scams I fell for felt like turning my shame into something useful. Samuel helped me develop the curriculum. The workshop grew larger each month. People came from other communities to learn about avoiding investment scams. My brother attended my 5th workshop, sitting in the back without saying anything. 5 years after the collapse, I made my final repayment to my parents. They hugged me for the first time without sadness in their eyes. The weight that had crushed me for years finally lifted. My brother sent me a text after my last payment to him. It just said, "We're good, brother." 3 words that took 5 years to earn. I cried on the bus home that day. My wife and I renewed our wedding vows on our 15th anniversary. The ceremony was small, just family. But everyone who attended had been affected by my mistake and had chosen to forgive me. Samuel and I still meet monthly. He's not my mentor anymore. He's my friend. He says watching my family heal was the reward he needed for his own recovery journey years ago. The family member who sued us eventually dropped the case and apologized. She said she was just hurting and didn't know how else to express it. We cried together and finally healed. I now teach a monthly class at the community college about avoiding investment fraud. My students include retirees, young professionals, and even some former scammers trying to change their lives. The man who convinced his family to invest learned that money can be rebuilt, but trust takes years to earn back. I'm still earning it every single day, and I always will be. Now when our family gathers for holidays, the laughter is real again. I sit at the table with people I hurt, and they choose to love me anyway. That's the wealth I almost destroyed and will spend my life protecting.